Well, I was ambushed actually in the board meeting because Dr. Stuart Gordon said there's no need in finding some contemporary piece of composer to do it. We have our own right here. And I'm sure he was going to say me, and he certainly did. And so it was decided there in that moment that I would be writing a piece for the juniors, the compulsory piece that they would all have to play. And so I did. A ballade is a little simply a tell the story. It is a Chopin wrote famous pieces, 4 ballades for piano, and each one of them tells a specific story. It's programmatic music, something that has not only a beginning, middle, and an end, but it tells you, and it leads you, and it brings you, and it leads you through the whole journey of the piece. And a ballade is a fancy way of saying, programmatic music. It's a nice way of saying it. It's a very classical and formal way of saying it. I think about my audience. My audience is so, you have to think about the audience. You have to know the audience. Because when you play a melody and you play something beautiful, you hope that it transcends the stage and it touches someone. And I know my audience here. They love beautiful melody. They love emotional things. And that's me. And I don't like music that is so avant-garde and so crazy and so difficult and so challenging, not only for the performer but for the listener. I wanted to write something that would be completely accessible and palatable, and that would taste good, and would hear tone and music and emotion, and give an experience for the listener, because that's the most important thing for me. I thought of a winter bleak place where there's nobody, nothing but snow, and you're walking on a road, and maybe there's birch trees or something white, but it's all bleak, it's all white, it's gray, and there are birds. There are the ever-present winter birds. There are the sounds of the air, the sounds in the sky, the sounds that are being made. And that's the painting, the image, the oral image that I wanted to create. What I really wanted to see was the ability of these individuals to see what kind of sensibility they have in phrasing, what kind of conceptual ideas that they have about singing. Because that, to me, as I said earlier, it's so important, because everybody plays fast and everybody plays loud and everybody, this is like so boring. And whenever you can really tell about a person when they play simply, when they're exposed. And the first 2 pages of this piece it's all it is. It's being exposed. My markings on the music, where these first chords come, is bleak. There's nothing. It's bleak. But they have to make some color, some sound with that chord that's warm. But that's what I wanted to see. That's what I wanted to do. And surprisingly enough, a lot of people they did it, but there was one that did it better. The first melody was actually the big song. What I call the song, the body, the melody of the tune, the song. Okay, I came up with that. I knew that was going to be my deal. That's the hook. That's the major part of the piece. So the first though, I have to have an introduction to set this up. I can't just start playing that melody. I have to set it up in some way to make it pay off. So I knew I wanted it in F sharp minor. Why F sharp minor? Nobody cares about F sharp minor. I care about F sharp minor because it says the tone of that sound, the way it makes you feel. It's a very warm and a very rich key. And so okay, I have that set. I know what I want. I have the melody figured out. I know what's kind of where it's going. So the first note though of the piece is F sharp. And it's like a call, like you're walking out, you're in this beautiful, bleak, snowy, the silence is so noisy, the silence is so loud, but you hear this da dee dee da dum. Something's calling, and then you hear. It's like a little something. We don't have to know what it is specifically, but it's a call. It's a call. And that's what brings you in. And so I wrote the first 2 pages as being an introduction to that really schmaltzy, romantic melody. To give contrast, so that big tune will really sound like a big tune when it gets to that part.